Hello Taurus, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Hidden Jules Tarot and my name is Jules. It is time for your 2026 reading. We're going to go month for month. I'm going to get this overarching archetype card here. See what we have. Okay, that was quick. The fall, ooh, the eternal child in the mirror. So, definitely maybe something around your inner child. And then also the father is the archetype of the emperor. So there could be some wounds around responsibility, masculine activation that stem from your childhood. And then we also have the mirror, which is so within, so without, as above, so below. Anyway, we'll get into that a little bit. But we're going to go through month for month. I'm going to pull a tarot card, one card for each month, and then we'll also talk about the astrology as well. For January, we do have Neptune entering Aries, and so on the 26th of January. As far as love goes, some old emotional patterns, which kind of goes along with your archetypes here too. You could be feeling a little bit more nostalgic, sensitive, withdrawn. Something just doesn't really feel like it's getting nourished anymore. Like I said, there definitely could be some energy around okay, January, February, March, around a masculine energy, whether it's within yourself, your personal masculine energy, activation, motivation, stability, or a connection. All right, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. All right. Bottom of the deck is the Empress, which, what do you know? That is your energy. It's also Venusian energy as well, so Venus for Taurus. Okay. That's abundance, so pop off, Taurus. We love to see it. For January, we pulled the Nine of Swords here, but it's in reverse. So I think it's us being patient with ourselves. Also, with your career for January, motivation might dip slightly, not from laziness, but maybe from some type of misalignment here. Like I said, that goes with the father deal. You might start to feel resistance towards work that's like draining your life force. The burnout starts to signal for you. So we may need to look at that. Okay, let's get in here with your archetypes before we really get into all of the tarot here. With these yearly readings, it's like my energy, it has to be a little bit scattered since there's just so much information. And yeah, so the mother, the father, hello, come on. Yeah, the protector, he's the guardian. So there could be something around being supportive, strategic. We already kind of went over that. So the inner child, okay, that's right. And then we have the mirror, which is back here. LXV. All right. So it says we look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in the pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and the danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. So this is about like witnessing your deeper self. I said it does mention the darker side of, narcissism, comparison, things like that. Comparison is a thief of joy, my loves, Taurus. There's a poem here. It's called I Am Not I by Juan Jimenez. Or also Yoko Ono's Mirror Piece and Grapefruit. Maybe look those up. But right here with the Nine of Swords, like, this is you finding patience and making decisions and finding the help that you need. So we love to see that. Okay, for February, that's where the boundaries with energy, love, and labor start to come in. We do also have Saturn that's going into Aries as well. Aries, yeah. So is the first house. So that has to do with self. And we also are entering into, in numerology, 2026 adds up to 10, which is the year for one, which is always new beginnings. And like I said, it's coming with Aries. So there's going to be a lot of identity work that's happening. But this month matters to you more than it looks. In love, there definitely could be some emotional exhaustion that becomes a lot more obvious. You could recognize that, like, where you're overgiving, tolerating inconsistencies, carrying emotional weight by yourself. It's realizing, like, that love shouldn't cost you as much. So you begin probably pulling your energy back. We also pulled the Knight of Pentacles as well. So this is going through those realizations methodically, slowly, strategically. Especially after, I feel like, recognizing and finding the help that we need and the answers that we need around those father wounds and things of that nature. Is a very dependable energy as well. So I feel like it's going to be more of you trusting your own belief systems in February. For your career, Saturn will force you to look at your energy leaks. Once again, kind of like the same thing with your relationships, where you overworked, unclear roles, low return effort becomes unsustainable. Your best move is to start saying no, reduce the load that you're carrying. Stop trying to prove reliability at your expense, type of thing. Because we also have the Queen of Pentacles here, which is your energy as well. It's earth energy anyway. And she is stability. She is the foundation that you rest on as far as your home, family, success. She's very protective, intelligent, truthful, practical, which I feel like is going to be a big thing for March, especially. This is a month, we have some eclipses that are going on for 2026. This is one of the months that we will have an eclipse, and then also I think Mercury retrograde happens as well. With love, there definitely could be some conversations that start to arise about the future. If you're in a connection, you'll be able to see where somebody can meet you clearly long term. Old relationship patterns might start to play, just so that way it can like for awareness and not repetition. Like I feel like at this point you should be able to check your behavioral patterns and understand that you want consistency and not just reassurance. Because there's a whole lot of words and not a whole lot of doing. You know, you'll be able to clock that a little bit more easily. With your career, financial clarity, like I said, is going to be pretty much demanded at this point. You'll notice where your income or security isn't as solid as like you would assume, but you're really embodying that energy where you have control and that like you notice where your long-term stability will be there. So that's auditing your finances, adjusting to strategy. It's just a little correction month for you here. With May, no, we're in April, sorry. We have the sun in reverse here, which is normally unhappiness, negativity, loneliness, things of that nature. We do have your Uranus, however you want to say it, entering Gemini on April 25th. That means it's leaving your sign and going into Gemini, and that is going to revolve around your money, your skills, and your values zone. I said, I think that, you know, the sun is always the thing that like will shine its light on things that are in the dark. Just the moon is also, you know, the way of that. Like the sun's job is to cast the shadow, whereas the moon's job is to light up what's in the dark and in your subconscious and unseen. So it might be a time of reflection, especially around your self-worth. This is going to be the month of like a self-worth revolution here. You stop trying to, you know, put your self-worth into being chosen in this month. Maybe some of your attractions start to shift, like towards intelligence, honesty, flexibility, things like that. You don't feel like... I went through a phase where at one point in my life, I never could have... I was in a really long relationship, and I never thought that I would be able to want to be alone. I had abandonment issues, so... We can take accountability and we can talk about it. But then I got to the point that like I had been left alone for so long, like I started to prefer it. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of the energy that's going to be happening. Like you're going to be a lot less afraid to be alone. And you understand that like you don't need to settle to be safe, like that you can cultivate this happiness within you. For your career, there might be new income streams that start to happen, because with Gemini, since it's going, Uranus is going into Gemini, that will create new ideas, basically. Monetizing skills, communication, tech, teaching, that's all kind of around Gemini. You're breaking free from a lot of outdated money narratives. So this is a time for experimentation and flexibility and things of that nature. Just finding different ways to just see stuff. Okay, for May, we have the Page of Wands in reverse, so this could definitely be a highlight of superficiality. There could be some type of bad news that comes in. Could be some distractions, instability behavior here. It's a time that we need to start balancing our priorities. Like I said, we just talked about that settling energy, and like we need to have the confidence here. May is kind of like our integration month. I think that we're going to be able to see things for what they are, and hopefully emotional calmness will return for you. You'll feel more grounded in this month. You know, it's like if it feels right, if it's meant for me, I'm not going to have to fight for it. That is the type of energy here. Like everything's going to be very clear for you. Decisions will be a lot clearer. You'll trust your pace a lot more. I said, this is all about you committing to what's sustainable and not just performative and impressive here. Okay, June is about emotional healing and voice expansion. At the end of June, I think it's June 30th, Jupiter moves out of Cancer and goes into Leo. So in early June, there definitely could be some healing around family patterns, emotional safety, because Cancer is the 4th house, which deals with home and safety, stability, financial things. You definitely could be releasing old attachment wounds, which we talked about that with the eternal child here. Definitely look within some of your belief systems that were taught to you at a very young age. Starting to release those. Late June, confidence will rise with, you know, with Jupiter going into Leo. Leo is a very confident, boisterous sign. I'm a Leo rising, so you see the hair? Yeah. But this is where you can start to say things without having so much fear. It also, we have the Star in reverse here, so there definitely, could be a time period where you start to really question your directions here, seeing, make sure that you're not looking at everything so pessimistic and having a lot of self-doubt, because this is a time for you to take opportunities and have truth and fairness, a rebirth opportunity here. Share your voice and ask for what you want. Stop minimizing yourself. Like I said, Leo is very present. It's they out there, you know. So the lion does not minimize. And let's see. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Here we go. The 4 of Wands, which is home and stability, which guess what? Goes into Cancer season still. With love, you could feel... Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. You could feel like flirting or a connection is a little bit lighter. We're attracting people through authenticity and not through that over-giving, over-effort type shit, you know? Like, you don't have to convince anyone. Like, your tribe is here for you. Conversations may deepen naturally for you. I said, especially with the 4 of Wands out here, like, this is, you know, completeness and a stable foundation. That's beautiful. Your career networking could definitely improve during this month. Opportunities, visibility. I said you'll feel a lot more confident, like, advocating for yourself in this month, I feel like, with, and be ready for an opportunity that you've put in work for. But don't soften your truth, Taurus, to just stay light, okay? Not like y'all ever really do, but I'm just saying. It's highlighted for this month, okay? August is a foundation reset. We do have 2 different eclipses. We have the eclipse, the solar eclipse in Leo, and then we also have the Pisces lunar eclipse as well. We pulled the Temperance in reverse here, so there could be some type of instability right after our moment of stability. So that's telling me that, like, once we start to get a little bit of something good, all of a sudden we start self-sabotaging and we want to create discord of some sort and disunion and conflict. Don't do that to yourself, Taurus. What? Hello? So, yeah. Like I said, you gotta make sure that you're being super self-aware and not let these old attachments take you out like that. In love, there could be some type of living situations, family dynamics, an emotional root shift of some sort. You may outgrow a relationship that's tied to old comfort zones, which, you know, like I said, with the inconsistency of this, like we're feeling good, and then it's like, nah, just kidding. Just kidding. That's not okay. So choose alignment over familiarity and love and ambition this month as well. Your social circles could change definitely in August as well. You could have a whole new group of friends. Like I said, I think community is going to matter a lot more than status in this month for you. But here we go. We have September. We have the Page of Cups in reverse, which is normally a very manipulative, unreliable, moody. He's a hoe. Energy. So you could find out some news that you don't really like. That goes into Virgo season, starting off with September, and they're normally around health, routines, work-life balance, things of that nature. And so this might be a month where you need to focus more on your routines, especially with this unreliable energy. Like, find something that's going to keep you, like, have structure for you. And this could definitely be your shadow side trying to throw you off of alignment here. Lock in your habits. Okay? Lock in your habits here. For October, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse as well. This is very similar to your little sister brother Earth sign Capricorn a little bit too. So there could be some type of misunderstanding that's going on here. October brings a relationship and value edit, or audit, like looking over what's going on in our interpersonal relationships. There is a Venus retrograde in October, so definitely could be people from the past and love, either that or just the behavioral patterns and romance that are starting to creep in. You're going to want to look at your emotional reciprocity, attachment versus attraction type things. This is where, like I said, back a couple of months, we were really cultivating our self-worth here, and this is where we can also look at the fact that, like, we deserve more than just a baseline tolerance in relationships. This month we need to observe, don't renegotiate yet, and just let clarity come to us, since there could be an energy around a misunderstanding. All right. November, this is where your self-worth completely locks in here. She is seeing clearly. Her head is above the clouds here. She has the sword of truth in her hand. And she will cut you off if necessary. This is a good card for communication. She's a very intelligent energy as well. So that's probably what you'll be embodying. Venus retrograde will end, so all those hoes from the past, they got to go. We don't need them. Boundaries will feel very natural for you with this energy here for November. This is, I know my value, and I ain't putting up with this shit. We're making confident decisions. We're acting out of self-respect, and letting the results speak for them in November. Pop off, Taurus. Pop off. Now, December, we do have the Hierophant in reverse here. So that could, the Hierophant normally talks about traditions, marital things, divine wisdom, things of that nature. And whenever it comes up in reverse, there could be some type of unorthodox, vulnerable, just not comfortable things that are happening here. There might be a need to trust your emotional intelligence here. Like I said, looking at your belief systems again, it could bring some unexpected conflicting movement, but you don't want to take that shit into 2027, Taurus. Really, like, you need to trust your adaptability, trust yourself that you'll be able to be resilient through any type of situation, because that's where you're going to find the most safety and peace, is being able to harness those thoughts, behaviors, and actions. All right, so main things, we're done with overgiving. We're choosing reciprocity and emotional safety. We're letting go of like just pushing, having endurance over sustainability. We're rewriting money narratives here, self-worth. It's more like we're not going to be asking, is this secure? It's more like, does this honor who I am? Are your themes here. Let's get some shadow cards. See what's going on. Like I said, this is about valuing yourself. We had the Empress on the bottom overall. We're also going to get an abundant attraction card, but let's see a little bit more about what's going on. Spirit, tell me about Taurus for 2026. Taurus for 2026 here. You definitely could have some numb. It came up in reverse, so you definitely could be feeling a lot of raw emotions of some sort. Make sure that you're not avoiding issues that find temporary relief. This is like addictions of some sort, getting into relationships that you know are not worth your time and energy. You must feel it to heal it, Taurus. What do you know? What did I talk about earlier? Here's self-sabotage as well. We already talked about this. It stems from fear, okay? We talked about this earlier, around June or July or August or so. Definitely make sure that you are checking through, or I'm sorry, June and July. There could be some type of pessimism, disappointment that we need to keep in check here. We have to consciously address our patterns in real time. Taurus, you can do anything. We all can literally be whatever we want. We just have to put action into our manifestation. There's no reason to doubt yourself. Spirit, or sabotage yourself, really. Like, you deserve great things, Taurus. You deserve great fucking things in your life. See? Boom. Right time. Boom. You hear me? This is where the conditions are good. They're good. Like, you will get the positive outcomes that you're seeking. Like, you deserve... See? What do you know? And you're even going to be supported during the journey. Hell yeah. But we talked about that early in the year. Like, you're going to have to ask for help. Finding the help that you need. Don't push people away. See if there's anything else before we get your abundant attraction card. Reckless in perspective. That, I feel like, has to do with that overgiving energy. You know, you're acting like, oh, I don't care. I don't care if people just use and abuse me. Like, it's all good. This is the way that I'm built for this. This is the way I've lived my whole life. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I used to do it too. Okay? And don't get me wrong, I am built for it. But we don't have to live like that, Taurus. Okay? People, like, one thing we do have control over is the power that we hold. And I'll be damned if I let somebody keep disrespecting me. Like, the way that we are able, it's the so within, so without thing. Where it's like when we show ourselves love, kindness, and respect, other people have no choice but to do the same. So don't be acting reckless out here. Which is probably the perspective shift that you're needing here. Don't zoom in too tight where, you know, focusing on the small details are going to miss the whole broad context of any situation here. Ask yourself, like, if that narrative is sustainable. That's what that is, basically. All right, let's get your abundant attraction card out here. Let's see what's good that's coming in. There are some shadow aspect cards in this deck, but I want to see something good. I want to see something really good for Taurus, especially since we had the Empress on the bottom of the deck earlier. Like, get that bag, babes, guys and gals. Spirit, tell me about Taurus. What is their abundant attraction here? What is their abundant attraction? What area? Tell me about Taurus. Oh, that kind of... Alright, we have desperate decisions, conflicting desires. You gotta know what you want. That's for sure. Let's do one more time. We also have a good... Let me see. Ooh, the Hamsa. Power of positivity. There you go. We just talked about that with the perspective change and not dwelling on the darkness here and the self-sabotage and shame and doubt and fear and all the crap that doesn't do us any good. Look, and it revolves around your self-worth here. There could be a sacred connection that's also coming in for you. Love to see it. Okay, so we have desperate decisions, conflicting decisions, or desires. To me, this is basically just saying, like, you have got to examine what's motivating you and shift your energy as needed, so that way we are not coming from a place of fear and desperation. And that is, you know, really fine-tuning what do you actually desire here. Whenever you split your energy, you dilute your creative power. And really take a time, a self-reflection time, to ask yourself what you truly want for yourself and align everything, your heart, mind, spirit, to that, and that will give you the most clear vision ever. Also, this card came out, the power of positivity. We have the Hamsa on there. I actually have a necklace with it on as well. I also have one right here too. So, a single positive shift in thought can set powerful momentum in motion. Positivity feeds on itself, lifting you higher and attracting more of the same. So once again, it's where the attention goes, energy will flow. This is how miracles become your new normal, Taurus. Like, your reality is only the perception of how you see it. It's the universe. So you create your reality through your thoughts, behaviors, and actions. And if you only see negative, you will experience negative. If you see positive things, then you will, like, if everything is a gift, then you spend your life opening presents, as Bashar would say. So, okay, that's what I have for you, Taurus, for 2026. I can't wait to do another round of your individual readings. These readings, like I said, spread my energy out, having to like talk about all the different things. But for me, like I said, tarot is very like in the moment, present energy, and so we make decisions every single day, and those things can change. But I feel like it's a little bit more, I don't know. Anyway, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell whenever you're, like, so that way you know when my readings post. I just picked the December winner. Her name is Julia Cooper. Julia, I made sure to comment on you. Make sure that you email me as well. And make sure that you comment your name and a money bag sign to be entered to win for January's free reading at the end of the month. Thank you again for being here. I love you so much. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.